There's a liquor store on almost every corner in the black community. Why? They want us to kill ourselves. You go out to Beverly Hills, you don't see that.
What up, doe, everybody? Um, Listen, I know it has been a lot going on, and I usually just go on like my Facebook Live and do the YSL trial update for every day. But I decided to go ahead and do a more formal stream um, because I kind of want to talk about Mounk Tounk's plea deal case. And, him and Woody are two different people. They got two different situations happening. I'm sorry, my mic just sounds a little rough. If you guys can hear me, if you are out there, because I may not have anybody watching at this time because no one knew I was going on live, but hopefully you guys can hear me. Okay. Um, Let me just check my mic a little bit more. Let's see. My mic sound nice. Check one. Y'all don't know nothing about my girls, Salt and Pepper. Okay. All right. I think I'm fine. So anyway, as I was saying, I want to kind of chat about Mounk Tounk and show a couple of clips because like I said, I usually just do a live and just it's more off the cuff, but this time I even jotted a couple of notes because I told you I'm not really good with, even though I done been in the system a couple of times, and I'm just as green as them when it comes to what I was signing. And what I don't like is people be judging and be like, why they signing anything? Y'all sign iPhone contracts, mortgages that you halfway know what that paperwork be about, job applications that you hardly don't know what's going on with. Um I don't think anybody, including attorneys, read the entire fine print, the data information that we be receiving. People don't be reading that stuff when we just jump on these apps. So I don't want to hear no judgment about they should have signed this, they shouldn't have signed that. Now I agree in a way because of the fact that they have attorneys. So the attorneys are supposed to be getting paid. The attorneys are supposed to make sure that they have their best interest at heart. And, that's how it's supposed to be set up. So I totally get that. Okay. Um, but guys, I don't know why. I feel like y'all can't hear me. Hold on, let me make sure. If I got even one person in the chat that let me just look. I don't have nobody in the chat. Not yet. Okay. Nope, not yet. Um well, I'm gonna just keep talking. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I don't know why my mic feels it sounds it's not like I can't really hear here like I usually can. Let's see. And I would hate to do this all over again because listen, once your girl, once your girl do this, let me just check my mic and stuff. Hold on. Testing, testing, testing. Okay. There we go. Yes. All right. I can hear myself now. All right. So as I was saying, so let's not be so judgmental about, you know, some of these men not really like Woody got up there, DK, a couple of them, well, pretty much all of them got up there and there were some things that they didn't understand. And I just kind of wanted to share some light on that because I have been discussing things that I see that's flaws in the system. It's not necessarily giving a review about what's happening because you can go and follow the trial or follow law and crime. And I'm not a lawyer, but who I took these video clips from. And shout out to Mel because she's one of my favorite that's covering this because she gives so much information as to how to understand it. So make sure you go on TikTok and YouTube and follow her. And I watch law and crime trials. So those are the people that I'm actually watching, guys. And so I've been jotting down my notes because I kind of, by me being an activist too, and since this trial is so long, so long, so long. No, I'm just kidding. But this has given me the opportunity to be able to kind of learn, and one of the things that I'm learning now is the plea deal thing. And like I said, I took some clips and we're going to go through the clips. Before I do the clips and let y'all see the different clips that I took, I want to just give y'all some information as to some of the notes that I, taken from this, the couple of days that Mounk Tounk has been on there. And one I have noticed also, and this is throughout all of them, that YSL is a label. And of course, not detective, oh my gosh, DA, attorney or whatever, Miss Love, she is really adamant about treating this YSL as a gang. And YSL is not an actual gang. And the reason being is because YSL has several different people from different other gangs that's affiliated with the label. Like Gunna is from a whole different gang, and other men like Mounk Tounk is from somewhere else. Woody was from somewhere else. So YSL is a label, but these men are from gangs, official gangs, like Young Thug may have been, maybe, I don't know. This is allegedly a part of Rock Crew. And then there were some that was a part of SMM. And so it's just like different people in different official gangs. And what I mean by official gangs is that they got sworn in, and different things like that. They have different codes and rules and, and different things that they have to go by as far as being an official gang. And I think that she's trying to say that he was setting it up for it to be a gang by, you know, um, getting all these men together or whatever. But like I said in the beginning, I strongly feel like these are all personal and individual situations that happen. And it just so happened that majority of the men that have been caught up in these situations is affiliated with Young Thug and YSL label. Okay, so um Moon plea deal was 15 years probation or 35 years in prison, I guess, if he committed perjury or whatever it may be. And so you're going to see her going through the process with him, and I'll talk about more of that because I'm going to show y'all a little game she had and what nobody probably pinpointed, because I don't think any commentator that I watched talked about this. But and I'm just going to be adjusting my mic, guys, because I'm still trying to make sure that I'm sounding okay. Um so we're going to talk about 123, day 123, and then we're going to discuss day 124. Now, there was a situation, and I think this actually was on day 122, which I don't have clips for, when they were discussing the Alford plea. And I didn't really know too much about that, but it was supposed to be that even though he well, the Alford plea is, I guess he can go back and change some things, or it's no, the Alford plea was what I think his plea deal was at first. It was, which I think is like a rough copy. And then he was supposed to talk to his attorney and they create a final copy. And I don't think that Miss Love did that correctly. And I think that she was discussing the Alford plea with the jurors, and that's when they wanted a mistrial for that on day 122. Okay, if anybody's been following the case, please let me know your thoughts on that. Another thing that I realized is that the comprehension situation. The number one thing I noticed, Miss Love asked all of them, and maybe that's a standard question that should be asked, is how old are you and how far did you get in your education? And the majority of these men are like 40, in their 30s and 40s, and their education is like 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade. And so as far as like education wise, and to me, I strongly feel like this system, and we know the system is broken, but this is one of the areas where I feel like this is where it needs to be fixed. Is they're already talking in legal jargon. They put legal jargon on the deals, and you don't really have people that can be mediators and explain a lot of the things in plain English, and give them teachable moments for them to understand their deals. And I feel like it, because the attorneys, most attorneys probably just want money, and they're on a time, and they have other clients, so they're rushing their unless they want what's really best for their client, like Brian Steele and the other attorney, that the black man that is a part of Young Thug's attorney, attorney, you know what I'm trying to say. So they are, you could tell they want what's best for him, you could tell. But and Sharp wants what's best for Shannon Steele, and all of those defense attorneys honestly is kind of dope. They really to me are pushing for things, and they're fighting for well, the only one I would say, and I think it's because Little Rod got life already, and he has a pro bono attorney, and I think that she hasn't really said anything, but I think that she's trying to learn, and I think that that's why she's quiet, because she's trying to learn, and she also wants to make sure that Little Rod is there, because he needs that protection, you know, throughout his time of him doing his, his bid or whatever, probably. I'm just saying, this is just me allegedly, I guess. And I guess I should be saying that since I'm streaming and I'm not just on random Facebook or whatever. But yeah, so I just wanted to get that out the way. Let me see, did I have anything else I wanted to so when you look at the videos, you'll see that Shark is really trying to explain in plain terminology to Sledge what he signed and go step by step with him. And he's also dismantling the plea deal by showing that a lot of the situations are personal situations that happen, but everything that she put under the plea deal it's all because of YSL. It's all affiliated with YSL. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get to the video clips, and I ain't gonna be on here too much longer. I just want to, show some love because I have been focusing on trying to talk about this trial and update. And then my sister, I talked to her and she's interested in it, so I'm gonna show her this video. Shout out to my sister Fresh Felicia, what's up? Okay, all right, so the first one is day 123, and I'm probably gonna like skip past some things too, and then we're just gonna chat about it. Okay, let me make sure I go to the comments real fast. All right, happy birthday, Brian. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. Mwah, mwah. All right. And let's see. All right. Let's get to it, shall we?
Get into the specifics of Antonio Sledge's plea deal. And if you watched my video from the other day, you know all about his plea deal. Now, what becomes clear is even though Antonio Sledge signed everything for this plea deal, it doesn't seem like he was ever really clear what he was signing.
Do you remember addressing these statements in court ever?
Yeah, I remember. Like I told you yesterday, I remember when I signed, I was going to be able to get on the stand. And if you call me and explain my truth or this, but this nothing that I directly told you. This agreement, I never stated any of this stuff in this document to you or anybody else.
Mr. Sledge, would you please take a look at pages 3 through 7? Read to yourself and tell the jury what numbers you are testifying today are not true. If you disagree with any part of these statements, we will call that false. If you agree that the entire statement is true, we will call it true. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right. Number 1, is it true or false?
True.
Number 2, is it true or false?
True.
Number 3, is it true or false?
True.
Okay, so I want to explain to you guys too, and I want you to pay attention because remember, I'm trying to show how broken the system is, right? So keep in mind, they're in court. This is day 123. And I want you to keep in mind that she's going over his plea deal again with him to explain it and see what it is he wants edited and taken off. Okay, so I'll explain why I'm explaining it later.
Number 4, true or false?
True.
Number 5, true or false?
True.
Number 6, true or false?
True.
Number 7, true or false?
False.
Number 8, true or false?
False.
Number 9, true or false?
False.
Number 10, true or false?
I can say true.
Number 11, true or false?
True.
Number 12, true or false?
True.
Number 13, true or false?
True. Truth, I can say truth about that.
Number 15, true or false?
True.
Number 16, true or false?
I say false, but I don't agree with everything they say in it, so I say false.
Okay. So now we're talking about your understanding sentencing acknowledgments. If you understood all of it on December 28, 2022, please answer yes. If there was any part of it you didn't understand, please answer no. Okay?
Yes.
All right.
I got you. I know what you're saying.
Number one, on December 28th, 2022, did you understand it?
No, I didn't understand that.
Number two.
No, I didn't understand that one either. Because I didn't even know I said that.
Number three.
No, I didn't understand that one either, Miss Lowe.
All right. Number four.
No, I didn't understand that one either.
Number five, on December 28th, 2022, did you understand it?
I didn't understand it.
And number six.
No, I didn't really understand that one either.
The paragraph underneath number six.
No, because I never even read this. I didn't understand.
You did not understand that paragraph?
No.
Okay. I'll backtrack just a little bit. Would you please turn to page 5, the factual acknowledgments I'm about to ask you about. So as it relates to number 7, is it the portion before the first comma or after the first comma that contains what you now say is false?
I say the one false about told.
Is
Yeah,
there
'cause
testimony
nobody-
that you were never told?
I was never told.
Okay. Number 8. Which part of number 8 is false?
I didn't know it said, personally, I thought when my lawyer was explaining, he said responsible. I never knew it said personally, no, because I can't personally know I wasn't there.
What do you mean when you say you thought it was responsible?
Because I was charged with it, Ms. Love. That's why.
Okay.
I was charged with the murder. So I was thinking like.
Were you indicted for murder?
No, I never got indicted for it.
Okay.
But
So
I was charged. Yes, I was charged by the DA office.
So how does that factor into your misunderstanding about the meaning?
Because I didn't know it say defensively, personally know one or more YSL member that committed the murder. I don't personally know. I wasn't there and no one never spoke it to me. So I can't say I personally know.
What about number 9? What part of number 9 is false?
He gave YSL's associate money to lay low. Well, what I would say, the word, you used the word lay low. I would have used the word to get family members out of harm's way. That's what I would have used.
Okay, and this is where I kind of want to stop because remember, I'm just trying to show you guys what I see as things that is broken in the system. Of course, the state want a win, a conviction. It honestly, to me, the way that this is set up, I don't even think she care if to try to get the criminal. It's just about winning this conviction, winning this trial now because of the fact that she don't want to look bad in the eyes of America now because it's so huge and it's been going on for 124 days, 25. And, this man now he's seeing, okay, these words that's being worded on this paper is tricky. But because he has so much going on in his life, which you'll see the next clip and understand that this actually, to me, was signed under duress. So now he's going back and he's able to see, man, what was I thinking? So I'm gonna continue.
If I'd have gave you this, that's what I would have said. I wouldn't have said he gave us money to lay low.
Is it your testimony that you did not send those words to the state through your lawyer? Is that your testimony today?
I don't know how I still became lay low. My words and the notes that my lawyer took down, it was to get me and my family out of harm's way because on January the 10th, I was accused of the murder by the streets, not by your district attorney office.
Understood. All right. Thank you for clearing that up. So going back to page 3 of 7, number 1, how did you mean for them to boost the street credibility of YSL?
brought females around, people wanting to hang.
Did it make people scared of YSL too?
No.
Is it your testimony today that you committed or participated in that drive-by shooting
Yes.
to boost the reputation of YSL to bring females around?
No, not. But what I was saying, like, I just don't think it was to boost the credibility. I never knew that the question even said to boost a notorious street credibility. I didn't know it was. I didn't know the question said that at the bottom. I knew about the top part. That's why I signed to it, because I knew me and Zachary and Gunnington pleaded guilty to doing a drive-by shoot.
Number 3, as it relates to you only, how did threatening to harm Shell Kale count as you're acting on behalf of YSL? What did it do for YSL when you threatened to harm Shell Kale?
It didn't do nothing, because me and Shell Kale seen each other 1,000 times and it never happened. So it didn't do nothing.
Because who in Shell Kale?
I said, me and Shell Kale seen each other, me and him, seen each other 1,000 times and nothing never happened.
All right. Do you remember earlier when you were reading section 3 that I asked you if any part of it was false, to label it false?
I probably couldn't hear you. Well, that part,
Testimony
I say
day.
that part down there is false.
Okay, so we're going to label that as false. Number 3.
Okay.
All right. Number 4, is there any part of number 4 that is false?
See, I didn't even know I'd say this. Yeah, that's false too.
All right. Mr. Sledge, did you read earlier when I was going over them? Did you read each of these?
I didn't read that part. I missed out on that. On the.
And honestly, he's at fault as well, because you have to be a little more thorough, especially if you got an attorney already and you not reading at least everything. If you know, I know it's going to be certain jargon that he probably don't know, but dude, like, at least read the entire paragraph.
Video part at the bottom.
Number 5.
I didn't read it and understand it at first, but now I do.
So with your new understanding.
It'll be false.
Okay. Number 6. Read it, please. Is any part of entirely true? Time to care. You don't mess.
I wasn't going to leave my kids and my family here knowing that if I supposedly did something, they probably would have tried to harm my family. I'd do anything necessary to protect my family.
Understood.
What if it sent me to prison for the rest of my life?
How did you find out the streets were saying that you murdered Donovan Thomas Jr.?
I received fake DMs from fake page. Well, I received DMs from fake pages.
And what did the DMs tell the jury about? Some of the DMs from fake pages that you received?
It stated that me and Kenny Copeland just killed Nut.
And what was it? Just saying that? Just
okay. So I just kind of wanted to talk about that part of the plea deal situation. I'm not going to get too much into that. You guys can actually go and check that out on your own. So now we're going to actually go to the original. This is when he was locked up and he was in Rice Street. And the situation is that his mom's pretty much was dying. Okay, I hate to say it. It's so sad. His mom's was dying, and he was locked up, and then he was locked up under the conditions, Rice Street conditions, which we all, if you have been watching this trial and you've been following the things that Woody was saying about Rice Street, then you already know that he's pretty much like already probably depressed. And he literally, from what my understanding is, only had a gun charge. But now because he took this plea deal, his case is worse. That's what a lot of people were saying. And like I said, I'm not like super a legalist or nothing like that. I'm just trying to learn. So I'm going to show some of this. Now, the reason why I want to show this is because there were times when he was saying yes way before she was even done with her complete sentence. That's kind of how you also know that he was under duress. And then you see how slow she talk in the courtroom, and when she's talking to the witnesses. But when she was pretty much speaking on this plea deal, she was talking extremely fast. I have never seen her talk so fast. And I feel like that right there is that what they call that three card Monty or whatever it's called. Like, she's switching up so that he wouldn't really understand, but his attorney is right by him. And so of course he's going to feel comfortable with whatever he put on the paper, whatever his attorney tell him. And then on top of him not having the education to understand some of the big words, because he said he didn't know about certain words that was, extensive. He doesn't have an extensive vocabulary. So it was just a lot. But if you look and you kind of pay attention to the whole vibe, you'll see what I'm talking about. That's what I want you to pay attention to.
183572.
Are you at this time taking or under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No, ma'am.
How old are you and how far have you gone in school?
I'm 41, 10th grade.
Are you able to read, write, and understand the English language?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you are charged with the following offenses?
Yes, ma'am.
Conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act,
Yes, ma'am.
as well as possession of a firearm by a convicted felon,
Yes,
as
ma'am.
listed in count 30 of this indictment.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had enough time to speak with your attorney, Mr. Derek Wright, about all of the facts and circumstances known to you regarding the charges in this indictment?
Yes, ma'am.
Any potential defenses?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you need more time to discuss this case with your attorney?
No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And is that your signature on page 7 of 7 of State's Exhibit 1AS?
Yes, ma'am.
Defendant shall testify truthfully about each statement contained within defendant's factual acknowledgments and any matters related to this case when asked to do so in any proceeding related to the facts alleged in this indictment. Have you had an opportunity to go over each one of the defendant's factual acknowledgments and make corrections where necessary?
Yes.
And do you now acknowledge under oath that each of the factual acknowledgments that you have initialed in this section are true and correct and accurate to the best of your ability?
Yes, ma'am.
I freely, knowingly, and voluntarily enter into this agreement without force, threat, or coercion. Is that the statement that you acknowledged in this agreement?
Yeah, ma'am.
And is that the statement to which you sign your name underneath?
Yes, ma'am.
After attorney
Shout out to Mel from I'm not a lawyer, but okay. So now we're going to go to the last video clip, which is Max Sharp. And Max Sharp is discussing the plea deal. And he's, like I said, showing the witness the flaws in the plea deal. And it's also helping his client by what he's doing. Now, unfortunately, I don't really know if it's helping Mounk Tounk, because it looks like he is, he's already sworn and said that, everything is true. And now Max Sharp get up there, and then he's starting to see, oh, wait, no. And so that can kind of mess him up, and he might wind up going back to prison because Miss Love don't care. You understand? What, going to prison. So he probably will wind up doing this 35 years. But check this out. Let's see here.
572.
Oops, sorry. Hold on. It's this it?
Up, Max Shart is up first for cross-examination, and he emphasizes what exactly was going on in Antonio Sledge's life around the time that he accepted this plea deal.
Just please listen to my questions and then answer truthfully, okay?
Yes.
Mr. Sledge, I'm going to ask you to go back to December 28th of 2022. Now, that is the day that you pled guilty, correct?
Yes.
All right. What day were you arrested?
I want to say May 27, 2022.
So on December 28th of 2022, when you initialed those documents, you had been locked up for 7 months.
Yes.
Where were you held?
At the Fords County Rice Street.
Generally speaking, is that a nice place to be?
No.
Is that a dangerous place?
Yes.
Is that a filthy place?
Yes.
On December 28th, 2022, there were some things going on in your life.
Yes.
That your mother was ill.
Yes.
You have 8 children, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you have a significant other at the time?
Yes.
The money that you paid your attorney, you knew it wasn't enough for him to go to trial on this long case, correct?
Yes.
This line of questioning about the money that Sledge paid to his attorney starts to create some back and forth between Max Shart and Attorney Love, but ultimately the point that Max Shart makes is that some of the defendants who relied on public defenders were severed from this case because the public defender system hadn't assigned them one. And so they, by no choice of their own, could not move forward with being a part of this trial because they couldn't afford an attorney and the system hadn't given them one. So Max Shart is arguing that this was an added reason for Antonio Sledge to accept his plea deal. So Whitaker allows Max to make this point in front of the jury, and then court continues. And Max begins focusing on the details of Antonio Sledge's plea, plus why he says Antonio Sledge made this video that the state played yesterday, which was directed at Shell Kell.
Being in Rice Street for 7 months prior to your plea, did that put pressure on you, plead, to accept this deal?
Yes, a lot.
Being separated from your sick mother and your children, did that create pressure, plead guilty on December 28, 2015?
Yes.
Excuse me, December 28, 2022.
Yes.
The fact that you had not hired an attorney for trial, did that create pressure on you to plead guilty on December 28, 2022?
Yes.
All right. I want to talk to you about the plea offer. And the state's plea offer was for probation.
Yes.
Probation is you don't have to be in custody. You're released.
Yes.
In your mind, that's preferable to prison.
Yes.
That's preferable to sitting in Rice Street jail, correct?
Yes.
Probation would get you back to your family,
Yes.
get you back to your ill mother,
Yes.
and that would solve your issues as far as hiring an attorney to try the case.
Yes.
There were factual acknowledgments that you would have to initial to receive that offer of probation, correct?
Yes.
I'm not trying to embarrass you. You're a smart man, okay?
Right.
But you did indicate you didn't know what the word notoriety means.
Yes.
And you've also just said you didn't know what the word coercion means.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you to look at factual acknowledgement 1. On the last line, does it have the word notoriety?
Yes.
I'm going to look at factual acknowledgement 5 on the last line. Does it say notoriety?
Yes.
I'm going to ask you to look at number 16. Does that say notoriety?
Yes.
And look at the last word on page 6. Does it say coercion?
Yes.
And those are words to this day, I guess before this trial maybe, that you never knew the meaning of.
Still don't know the meaning of them.
Some of the acknowledgments that you did not agree with, the state refused to change, correct?
Yes.
And you wanted to go home.
Yes.
Did you let those disagreements get in the way of you getting home to your sick mother?
No, because I wanted to go home to my sick mother.
You watched a video of your plea earlier today, correct?
Yes.
Weren't there times during that video where you were saying yes, ma'am, before Miss Love even asked the question?
Yes.
Why were you saying yes, ma'am, if you disagreed with the factual acknowledgments?
I was just trying to get home to my sick mother.
You testified that your attorney told you that you could explain those disagreements later, correct?
If I was called into the stand, yes.
Let's talk about this plea agreement. If you initialed the factual acknowledgments and entered a plea, the agreement was the state was going to recommend 15 years of probation, and that meant that you would get out of jail immediately.
Yes.
Your plea is to testify consistently with the factual acknowledgments you signed that you say are not true.
Yes.
And according to this agreement, if you fail to testify consistently with those acknowledgments, the state can move to revoke your probation, correct?
Yes, revoke it and see the prison.
Let's talk about the agreement for count 30, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Sentencing was withheld, correct?
Yes,
So you weren't, even though you pled guilty to count 30, you were not given a sentence.
yes,
And your understanding is if you testify in accordance with this plea agreement, the state will dismiss that case.
yes,
Even though you've already pled guilty to it, the state will go back, let you withdraw your guilty plea, and dismiss the case.
yes,
Number 4 says, defendant understands fully that if prior to the conclusion of the initial trial of this case, defendant fails or refuses to testify to any fact that he acknowledges in his plea agreement, such failure or refusal nullifies any promise made by the district attorney to null pros count 30 of this indictment and may result in defendant being sentenced to serve as much as 35 years of confinement in the Georgia Department of Corrections /prison. Why did you initial it?
because I wanted to get home to my mother.
Showing you a document marked DS-36. Back in 2015, was there a young lady that you were involved with?
Yes,
What was that young lady's name?
Treva. She at the top of the photo,
And do you see yourself in DS-36?
right there to the left.
Okay, and who's the other gentleman in the bottom right on DS-36?
That's Kel. I've been dating since probably like 2009, but as the relationship, probably like 2013.
At some point, did she start dating another man?
From my understanding, yes, Kevin Watt.
Was she dating, and I'm not trying to embarrass you, was she dating you first or Kelvin Watts first?
Me,
Do you know from your vantage point when she started dating Kelvin Watts?
I don't know at the time when she started dating.
You found out that she was dating Kelvin Watts. Did you immediately break up with her and say, no, I don't have anything to do with you? Or did you keep having a relationship with her?
We kept conversing.
Did the fact that you and Mr. Watts were simultaneously dating Miss Smith, did that create problems between you and Mr. Watts?
Yes,
Okay. Did that lead to an internet back and forth between you and Mr. Watts?
yes,
At some point in 2015, did you hear that Mr. Watts was looking for you?
yes,
And was all that revolving around your rivalry over Antrevia Smith?
yes,
You remember when the state played a video of you and Mr. Zachary with guns?
yes,
We ain't really going back and forth, no nigga.
You little bitch ass nigga.
I know what we hate.
I'm never well. Yeah, fuck you, nigga, Cam. Whoever else, nigga. Well, nigga.
Okay, I don't want to play this part. However, let's go back. Hold on.
yes,
You intended for Mr. Watts to see the video.
yes,
In that video, did you ever hear anyone say YSL?
no,
Did you ever hear anyone say gang?
no,
And you made that video because you were mad at Kelvin Watts because he was running his mouth,
yes,
because y'all were dating the same woman.
yes,
Factual acknowledgement 4. Let's look at that, and that's on page 3. That night, April 28th, 2015, I believe you testified you were at the club. Demekion Garlington was jumped by certain individuals. Demekion was upset, correct?
yes,
You drove to the first house on Landrum where Summer Good was because Quindarius Zachary wanted to protect his girlfriend.
yes,
And once you saw people shooting at the house, Demekion Garlington and Quindarius Zachary wanted revenge, right?
yes,
Quindarius Zachary wanted to go back at the people that were shooting at his girlfriend.
yes,
And Demekion Garlington wanted to go back at the people who he felt jumped him in the club.
yes,
That was personal revenge, correct?
yes.
Jeffrey Williams didn't instruct you to go drive to any houses that night.
No, Jeff wouldn't know nothing about it.
The reality is what happened on April 28, 2015 was done on behalf of Demekion Garlington, who got jumped in the club.
Yes,
Was done on behalf of Quindarius Zachary, whose girlfriend was getting shot at.
yes,
Okay, let me ask you, before you signed these documents on December 28th, you moved for bond on this case, correct?
Yes.
You moved for bond on October 13th, 2022, correct?
Yes.
And the state opposed your bond, right?
Yes.
They said that you were a danger to the community. They said you were a threat, and you were denied bond.
Yes.
On the bottom of page 6, I freely, knowingly, and voluntarily entered into this agreement without force, threat, or coercion. Pressure. Not true, is it? You were pressured.
It's pressure.
In fact, you were pressured into signing a document that claims that you're entering the agreement without pressure.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, on December 28th, after you initialed these statements, the state recommended a signature bond. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
A signature bond means you get released and you don't even have to pay any bond at all, right?
Yes.
Have you ever been able to figure out what made you so dangerous before December 28th?
Mic drop. Mic drop. Do you understand? And then she want to do the objection thing. He already did. He already dropped the mic. Now, if you listened, and that was why I just let him cook, because firstly, I love how the defendants, well, I mean, I'm sorry, the defense lawyers, I like how they operate, because they kind of like assess the person and kind of see how they can speak with, with them or whatever. And I think that that's why Sharp, everything was landing with him. And now that the young man got a chance to actually see his plea deal again and understand and make changes, or say what changes he wanted made, because this is not what he was really talking about or whatever it may be. Now, Sharp was able to, now he could feel it. Now he like, okay, I see what's going on. And they labeled him dangerous. And that was more of an intimidation tactic to get him to cop a plea. And that's why they held him in Rice Street. And then they also knew that he was going through the situation with his grandma dying. And not one time did she even acknowledge that. You see that Max Sharp pretty much acknowledged that. And that's sad, and like I said, the other clip, when she was talking extremely fast during the time when she was pretending like she was explaining the plea deal, or she just was reading everything to him and seeing if he signed everything. His attorney, like I said, was just there, and now we know, and it's because he didn't really have any money. And of course, at that time, the attorney, didn't know if this trial was going to be huge, because this was all, I think, preliminary, or kind of way before, the public had the opportunity to kind of, see everything. And so, because I'm pretty sure that if his attorney knew, he probably would have been more thorough in his approach with Mounk Tounk, And so unfortunately, it's showing just overall how this system don't care about nobody. And it doesn't, to me, honestly, even though they do railroad more African Americans in this system than anybody, and then maybe, Hispanic after, but I'm going to say this. It's really, to me, a classism situation too, because it could be poor white, poor black, poor Hispanic, whatever it may be, people that's truly undereducated. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. There was, some situations where I feel like he should have been more, we still got to hold him accountable for his actions, and not, like, actually trying to find out more about his case and really reading to his comprehension, and what he don't know, maybe asking his attorney, can you explain this a little bit? But it's an ego and a pride thing too. All of that matters. All of that matters. People don't understand. All of that matters. It's crazy, because everybody that has been, all of the witnesses so far have not had a major education to be able to say that they completely understood. And that's sad. Wait a minute. What? Oh man. My content got removed. My content got removed off of Instagram, and I have no clue why. Let me see. It says CY. Why did this happen? Why? It went against company guidelines. Why? Okay, I'm gonna fight that, because there's nothing I said or nothing that happened that should have warranted that. Let me get this off of here, because I'm highly upset. I'm glad I looked, and maybe I should just keep doing my Facebook lives instead of streaming this, because it's too much sensitivity. But I don't know nothing I said or no video part that was actually like I have no clue. However, okay, request a review. Yes, this restriction is too harsh. Y'all seeing me do this right now. You misunderstood this content. Yes. It was to raise awareness. Yes, submit. Okay, so listen, I'm fighting for everything. You understand? Whether they say what they gonna say or not, I'm still fighting. Okay, and I'm about to get back on IG. Y'all, I need y'all to still track with me, because I want to give y'all a bonus clip of something real quick, since I'm already on here. And it's this man named Marcellus Williams. Hold on one second. Hold on. That I want to discuss. Come to find out, this man is about to he about to go through hold on, let me see. I'm gonna have to adjust this. 1 second. Okay, so I guess there's a death penalty situation that's about to happen. Oh, wait, hold on. Did they like take my page? Oh, they cold. Oh, man. Okay. Okay, guys, you know what? I'm going to take a brief intermission. I'm going to show y'all this video clip real quick. Let me see what's going on with my IG, because it looked like they took my page, and that's crazy. That would really be crazy work. Okay? So y'all stay with me if y'all tracking with me. I want to show you this young man coming back before I get off of here. Marcellus William has the death penalty, and there's no evidence of him being the person that unalived somebody. I'm gonna say that. Now I gotta get soft again. So just hold on 1 second. Don't go nowhere.
Oh, well, it wasn't meant to be. Thought I had a friend, but it wasn't. want me to slip up and lay it down. My man just got hit with a drag round. They skirted all up and their face down. They ain't even bother to chase him down. Cause he ain't get hit from the waist down. Crazy thing is he was innocent. On the block just chillin' with his man. Just graduated, did it with a kid. The bullets wasn't even meant for him. His mama had raised up a gentleman. Nothing different that she could've did for him. I know he made his mama proud, but the bullet don't treat no one different. Ain't nobody really safe now. It don't matter if you stayin' on the way now. Praying mamas, all this drama starting to weigh you down. Just keep your head up and don't ever lose your faith now, yeah. Snakes will slither in your circle, with only the intent to really hurt you. I pray that God will cover you and nurse you. Just pray that God will keep me out the hurts too. Oh, well, it wasn't meant to be. Thought I had a friend, but it wasn't enemy. If I call you bro, then you just like kin to me. They tryna get close and they tryna get rid of me. Rid of me. I got an eye for the slicks now. I got a spot for the fix now. Yeah. They plotting to give me a grip now. They want me to slip up and lay it down. Just because you call me bro, don't mean that I don't really know that you ain't nothing but the foe. Cause if I feel like the vibe is on, I'ma keep my distance. I'ma go with my instincts, go about my business. Keep it pushing like a piston, cause I don't want you even listening. When I be talking about my business, they set you up in an instant. If you let them in, then you let your guard down. They shoot you in your back as soon as you turn around, yeah. They get what they want and you ain't valuable to them now, yeah. Just be careful if you plan on chilling around my town, yeah. I done been around, I know how it goes down. But it don't matter how, cause it's about who you let around, yeah. Snakes will slither in your circle, with only the intent to really hurt you. I pray that God will cover you and nurse you. Just pray that God will keep me out the hurts too. Oh, well, it wasn't meant to be. Thought I had a friend, but it wasn't enemy. If I call you bro, then you just like kin to me. They tryna get close and they tryna get rid of me. Rid of me. I got an eye for the slicks now. I got a spot for the fix now. Yeah. They plotting to give me a grip now. They want me to slip up and lay it down.
Yes. Shout out to my boy Phil Durrell. Please check him out on YouTube, on Instagram, all that good stuff. He's hecka dope. Okay. I am back on IG, guys. I am back on IG. I ain't playing with these folks. Okay, even though this is a different topic. Hold on, let me fix my camera. Okay, so I might as well, since I'm on here, I recently seen this, and this also is video credit going to my girl Mel at I'm Not a Lawyer, but I got to find the GoFundMe because she said she had a GoFundMe, but I did not see that. But let me go ahead and bring this video clip up. So evidently this is about a black man who is getting the death penalty, and it's this month. Oh man, next week. I think it's next week. This is horrible, but they don't have the evidence. And so I just want y'all to watch this clip with me and let's discuss it, okay, before I get off of here.
Lawyer, but there's a story out of St. Louis, Missouri right now that you have got to hear about. It has to do with this man whose name is Marcellus Williams, and he is currently set to be executed on September 24th, as in this month. And even though the prosecutor, this man, has acknowledged that evidence was mishandled, the conviction is unreliable, and that it would be immoral to allow this execution to continue, Marcellus is still set to be executed on September 24th.
Okay. This is what we talking about, the dirtiness of the system, right? Okay. So the prosecutor has stepped forward to say, this is wrong. There's no evidence. I'm trying to get this thrown out, or whatever it may be. And we'll finish.
Let me give you the background. So in 2001, Marcellus was convicted and sentenced to death for the 1998 death of this woman, a local news reporter whose name was Felicia Gale. The state said that on August 11th, 1998, Marcellus parked his car at a bus stop, took a bus to Felicia's neighborhood looking for a place to rob. They say he picked Felicia's home, broke in, robbed it, and then using a kitchen knife, he caused her death. From there.
Okay. Now, y'all got to, because we're talking about the system. I want to break this video down. I need y'all to track with me. If y'all have any questions, please let me know. But did she say that he parked his car to catch a bus to rob a house? Okay.
There, the state said he washed off, took a jacket to cover his bloody shirt, and then rode a bus back to where his car was parked.
Okay, so he washed up in the house and then took a bus back to his car. So what clothes did he wear?
Less than a month after the incident, Marcellus gets arrested on an unrelated charge and ends up incarcerated in the city workhouse. Now, Felicia was 42 at the time, and she was discovered by her husband, who after arriving home saw his kitchen was a mess, his things were rummaged through, and then he eventually discovered his wife lying on the floor, not alive. Police are able to collect the kitchen knife that was used, a bloody shoe print, a piece of hair, and some fingerprints, and they also learned that Felicia's purse and her husband's laptop were all missing from the home. But even with all of that, the police weren't really getting anywhere. And after months of not having any leads, the family decides to offer a $10,000 reward for any leads on the case. And then a man by the name of Henry Cole comes forward. He's upfront about telling police he wants the reward money, and he also tells them that he was Marcellus's cellmate in the city workhouse where they were both incarcerated. And Henry Cole says during that time, Marcellus confessed to the incident. And he also says that when Marcellus told him what happened, he mentioned that his girlfriend, a woman named Laura Asaro, knows about it.
Okay, so a man who was locked up with Marcellus before, prior to, found out that there was reward money, came forth, made sure first that the reward money was solidified before he gave a testimony, and then included his girlfriend into it. Okay.
Police take this information and go and talk to Laura, who they were also already familiar with because she's had a number of run-ins with the police herself. So Laura tells them that yes, Marcellus was her boyfriend, and on the day of Felicia's death, he had blood on his shirt, scratches on his neck, a laptop computer in his possession, and when she went to the trunk of his car, she saw a woman's purse. She ends up confronting him because she thought he was cheating, and according to Laura, that's when he confessed to unaliving Felicia. So police take Henry's story and Laura's story and build their case. And Marcellus is charged with first-degree unaliving, among some other things. The trial continues with Laura and Henry as the state's key witness, and even though people don't typically get the reward money until after a case is over, prosecutors advised Felicia's husband to pay Henry half the money up front because Henry said that he was not going to testify until he got it.
The finesse. The finesse. So just because these people came forward and said that he did it, even though they didn't have any evidence on this man, they are key witnesses. And on top of that, they gave them half of the reward money up front. Okay.
During the trial, the defense presented witnesses that say Laura was the one who was seen getting off of a bus with a laptop in her possession. Despite all of that, and the fact that there was no physical evidence tying Marcellus to the scene, all of that hair, bloody shoe print, and DNA found under Felicia's fingernails were no match to Marcellus.
So during the investigation, there was no DNA evidence tying Marcellus into that home. None of that was his DNA.
Is ultimately convicted of his charges. And in considering Marcellus's previous criminal history, which included armed robbery of a donut shop, robbery of a Burger King, and robbery of a residence, Marcellus was sentenced to death. Now, Marcellus has maintained his innocence.
Listen, it's about breaking this down. I don't care if you don't like me stopping it and all of that, then this is not the show for you today, because the whole thing is dismantling and showing the corruption of the system. That is the entire thing that I'm trying to do right now. And I need to make sure that my IG is on. Okay, it looked like they still got me tracking, since they cut the first one off. And shout out to anybody that did show me some love. I seen Ray of Hope on there. Shout out to my boy Brian. Today is his birthday. One of my old coworkers from Nordstrom in California. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, once again, it's about showing the system, showing how dirty and how they don't care if a person if it's the right person or not. They just want the conviction. Okay. This man had no DNA evidence in this home. And because of the fact that he had past priors of robbery and all of that, which his time was served for that. Now they're looking at all of that to say that he had to have done this, and they're going to give him the death penalty. Okay.
Since this entire time, and over the years there has been additional DNA testing, still with nothing confirming a match from Marcellus to that scene. But nothing really has changed the circumstances. Marcellus has still been sentenced to death. Fast forward to January of this year, 2024, and this man, St. Louis County Prosecutor Wesley Bell, filed a motion to vacate Williams' conviction. Vacate, or basically have it overturned, and he cites 4 reasons. Number 1, he says he was yet again working on some more DNA testing. Number 2, he says that Marcellus's original lawyers failed to investigate and present evidence that Henry Cole and Laura, the girlfriend, were liars. Bell.
And this is what I'm talking about, attorneys. So Marcellus lawyers did not investigate to make sure that the key witnesses were lying. Everybody's in it. Now, shout out to the prosecutor, this brother that is like, oh no, y'all ain't just gonna railroad this man like this and y'all don't have no type of evidence. This is a prosecutor that is trying to save this man's life. Okay.
Also says that those lawyers failed to present evidence that could have helped him be sentenced to something other than death. And lastly, Wesley Bell says that some of the potential jurors for the case were improperly removed for racial reasons. Context: the jury for Marcellus's trial was made up of 11 white people and 1 black person. Because you probably need the reminder, yes, all of that is coming from the prosecutor. So Wesley Bell files that motion, and then a couple weeks ago on August 21st, Bell's office announces that new DNA testing, which was of the kitchen knife that was used in the incident, has revealed that it was contaminated. The short version is that DNA from one of the original investigators on the case and DNA from one of the original prosecutors on the case were both found on the knife, as in they were touching it without gloves on.
So you mean to tell me these people that know the law was touching evidence without gloves, and they contaminated the evidence, but they still is trying to get this man the unalive penalty. And I'm saying this for social media reasons.
So now it's
Unalive.
contaminated. And the unfortunate thing about that is that has made it essentially impossible to prove that someone else may have done this crime, which also now weakens their argument that Marcellus's conviction should be overturned. So the prosecutors come up with a new deal. They say if he agrees to an Alford plea, which allows him to maintain his innocence while also recognizing that a trial isn't the best idea for him, they will take the death sentence off of the table and he will instead get life in prison without the possibility of parole. Marcellus.
So even if he did not do this, he still got to get life without parole.
Okay. Agrees to the deal, the prosecutors agree to the deal, and the judge agrees to the deal. But then Missouri's Attorney General, this man whose name is Andrew Bailey, says not so fast. He files a writ of prohibition, basically an urgent motion to a higher court to say, hey, please stop this lower court because they doing stuff they can't do. So it was in regards to the court accepting that plea deal, which the Attorney General says they can't do that, and that a hearing needed to be held. The Attorney General maintains that the evidence to convict Marcellus was strong. The investigators and prosecutors who touched that knife didn't know that simply touching it was going to be enough to leave DNA and make it.
So because they didn't know that, so he's saying that he's not holding accountable the people that touched the knife that works in the legal system that shouldn't have touched the knife. And he's fighting to make sure that this man still get the unalive penalty.
Contaminated, I guess. And in regards to Marcellus accepting that Alford plea and getting life in prison, the Attorney General's office says that no innocent man is willing to spend the rest of his life in prison unless he knows he is guilty. So all of this has been unfolding and has now been argued in front of a judge. And that judge has until September 13th to make a ruling, which again is only 11 days before the date that Marcellus Williams is set to be executed. Have y'all heard about this story? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and in the event you want to sign the petition for Marcellus Williams, I'll leave the link for you. I'm not.
Guys, this is cold. This is cold. This is cold. But what I'm going to say is, it is so important. I don't care what nobody say. This is one of the reasons why it is still important to vote. Okay? Vote. And that's all I'm going to say on that. Okay? I don't have no words. Because it does not take a rocket scientist to see that he was completely set up, and this should have been thrown out. And anytime a prosecutor is fighting for your life to that level, then you know what I'm saying? Okay. This is America. Okay. So I am done. I just kind of wanted to share that as well because since I'm on here and we're talking about the dirtiness of plea deals and different things like that, and dang, I don't know what was said or what situation happened for IG to just say, screw you, I'm taking this down. So they took down my guys, IG took down my my live for my YSL update. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, and I think it could be the clip, even though there was a emoji covering all of that. There was, the N word and all of that being said. So that could have been it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this to this video to my IG, and I'm probably going to edit out that part and then re-upload it, okay, for everybody that's on my Instagram page. But you came on and you seen Marcellus William situation, but this is just kind of like part 2 of a whole show for IG. And once again, thank you guys. Love y'all and mean it. You guys have a good one, and talk to y'all later. Bye.
This is Insane, an urban opinionated news podcast that will cover various topics, including politics, business, relationships, love, spirituality, current Black news, and pop culture events that may not receive sufficient exposure in mainstream media. We hope you like the new look. Although this is real news, I will put my own vibe to it, so I encourage everyone to do more research. Now let's get to it. This
Say let's whine about it.